Welcome to the LANCave. I'm Patrick, joined by Owen.
Hello.
We're here hanging out, talking video games, video game news, general nerdy stuff, whatever we decide to rant about. By the way, you can watch us live on Facebook every single Thursday at around 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. We're on YouTube. We're on wherever you want to listen to podcasts, so that's your iTunes or what have you, and on Spotify. So wherever you want us, we try to be there. And I think it's been an interesting week we had a light gaming week last week, and I think we got some interesting stuff to talk about this week. What do you think?
Juicy.
Yeah.
It's very juicy. There's a lot of good stuff. A couple of game-specific things, which isn't normally what we do, but it was such a good reveal. I want to talk more about how it was revealed yesterday.
Yeah.
That I wanted to cover that.
That was smart.
We got console news from two different console makers. We got E3 news from Nintendo. We got all kinds of stuff.
I'm happy, boy. I'm really, and playing Final Fantasy VII, I'm really happy.
Still
throw up some more gameplay over here. Still not spoiler yet, in my opinion. Trying to find something that I was like, this isn't going to ruin anybody's feelings on it. But I think you and I got spoiled on different things in different ways. We're not going to spoil anything here, but I will say the things that people don't like and the quote controversies and what have you. I think we're both okay with it. We haven't finished the game yet, so we'll see how we do when we do our spoiler cast. But honestly, I'm liking it. I'm really the gameplay's great. I'm loving the voice actors too.
It's I stand by still that in terms of combat, like this is what action JRPGs should be, and I'm being very specific with that genre setting because this is technically a JRPG, but it's also very much an action RPG, and I think it marries those two very well.
Yeah.
In terms of the action, yet pause for turn-based combat. That's not something that Western RPGs really do. Western's more like real time, and this one is real time, but there's still like pauses for abilities. And so I think if you're playing this in classic mode, that's the wrong way to go. I think you really should embrace the fun that they've done. This like if there's the way Kingdom Hearts does it, and then there's this, and I think this is way better.
Oh no, I agree. I will say that Whitney, I've been playing it for the most part. Whitney's been watching it with me. I've been trying to get her to play, but it's funny. Someday, yeah. But it's funny that she gets it. This is more her thing than the originals and everything. But I thought it was funny that she said something about the character switching stressed her out, but she played Kingdom Hearts, and I was like, it's kind of the same thing. At least in my opinion. So,
you don't get to switch between Goofy and Donald. You're just Sora the whole time.
You're just Sora the whole time, but you're telling them to do stuff.
Okay, yeah.
And that's kind of how I play it.
You can do that. You can stay on Cloud.
Yeah.
Or like what I stay on Tifa a lot of the times because she hits like a ton of bricks, so she's a lot more fun. She's a lot more fun combat wise, but. Barrett is just the most boring to me. I don't really find him that fun at all. So I rarely take control of him unless I get sleeped or something.
Yeah, I think I took your advice on my equipping of Barrett. Barrett's a lot of support. I switch between Tifa and Cloud for the most part, but honestly, when I stay on Cloud and I switch to another person to cast something or get their ATB up just enough to cast it or to throw a potion or whatever's needed, and then I switch back to Cloud. Cloud's fun. I mean, Tifa's fun as well. Tifa hits really fast and quick. Basically, I'm using Tifa for DPS because she hits not only hard, she hits fast. And that's one thing that I've liked when I need to finish someone up really quick. I can switch over to Tifa and she just pounds them. So yeah, I'm really liking
first strike material on her also, so she almost always starts every bottle with an ATB gauge. And then I've pumped a lot of points into speed. So she's like, I'll do like unbridled strength,
Mhm.
and I'll do like a couple punches. She gets another unbridled strength, and then I just found a haste material also. So like I can really overkill her with how
That's
much. The
cool.
only problem with doing it that way though is it really makes me not pay attention to Cloud and Barrett's ATB gauges. I probably should balance it out a little bit, but
Yeah.
Tifa's so much fun. I did finally encounter a fight that I can't beat yet, so I have to level up a bit for one of the summons that you fight. It's just kicking my
Okay.
ass over and over again. So
Yeah, the summons are interesting as well. I've liked the summons. It was just very, I don't know. It's very different, but I liked the way that they've integrated it into summoning them into battle, as opposed to like before you were summoning them and they just come in and they hit once and that's over. And now they're literally battling with you for a while. So I thought that was really cool. Yeah. So
yeah, it's
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm in chapter 14. I'm hoping that I can finish in this next week. I'm pretty confident that I can. I'm in side quest hell right now, so we'll see. And I say hell in a good way. There's just a bunch of them. That's the only part that's trouble, is that you get to this point and it's like, if you don't do any of these side quests and you leave, then you ain't coming back. And I'm like, okay, so now of course, naturally, I'm going to do all of them. So I have, I think, 2 left before I get to progress the story.
Yeah, and I don't know where you are in the game, obviously, but if you're where I think that you are, at least you'd be having fun. And
Oh yeah.
like I said, so I'm pretty sure I know where you are, but I'm not gonna guess to spoil myself on that. But yeah, we're having fun with that. But when it comes to gaming news, we're also having fun with that because we actually got some decent news. First up,
Juicy.
juicy, very juicy. First up, we've been talking about Horizon Zero Dawn, and it sounds like, so it's basically, we're hearing now Horizon Zero Dawn is planned to be a trilogy, and it looks like, although other than the title that says trilogy, you can't find any references. They
Yeah.
said we're going to be in the Horizon business for a long time. Which, when they first came out with this game, they launched it. They were saying that they wanted Aloy to be a mascot of sorts for Sony, and they were alluding to that of a Sonic the Hedgehog or a Mario. And as soon as they said that, or Nathan Drake, I guess, is the other one that they'd mentioned, like when it launched. And the first thing that I thought was, okay, well, we're going to see her in a sequel and then some. Like, it had to be more. And now this is the first time we're officially hearing, yes, we're getting more than just a Horizon Zero Dawn 2. We're going to get at least a trilogy, maybe even more when to something of an Uncharted. I just hope that they take care and make it. Sometimes you are in a world too much and they don't shake it up enough that it just gets boring and monotonous, which we'll talk about more when we talk about Assassin's Creed later on. But
Sure.
I hope they shake this up enough to make it fun and unique in the future games. You still keeping the love and Aloy and everything, but they got to make it fresh. So, I mean, I'm assuming you're excited about this.
Oh yeah, because those who listen regularly, I
Mm-hmm.
did play the game actually for like to completion for the first time earlier this year. I had played it at launch, and then Breath of the Wild came out. So I beat it. So the thing about Horizon Zero Dawn versus, like, say, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn very much ends with a lead-in to the next game. It's not a cliffhanger per se,
Mm-hmm.
but like there's a definitive ending to the game, but then there's like post-credits and something happens that very clearly sets up the next game, unlike Last of Us, where like Last of Us could have been fine as a one-off, but it's too popular for that to happen. So they very much set it up, so I'm excited to get back into that. The thing is that in the article that we read, which this one was on Video Game Chronicle, they talked about how there's gonna be even more ability to move around, and the map's pretty big, and you have a pretty good ability to move around, but I'm wondering, did they learn something from like Breath of the Wild, where it's like, Aloy is a very competent climber, and they very much keep you from climbing a lot.
Mhm.
There's a lot of there's only specific things. There's little notches that you saw in the video gameplay if you're watching the video where, oh, there's this yellow thing sticking out. That means Aloy can grab it. So if they're talking about that, that's awesome. But if they're saying like they're gonna make the map bigger, they don't need to make the map bigger. The map is extremely dense.
Mhm.
I didn't finish every side quest or anything because I got to a point where I was just over leveled, and so I was like, all right, I'm gonna go beat the game now. I'm done. So I just hope that they not necessarily don't do more. I just hope that they keep it tight, keep it nice and
Sure.
tight.
Yeah, and
Is what I want.
yeah, I agree. Well, you can get to the point where you're making a larger and larger map, but is it a map that it doesn't have to be too dense, especially with the wilds and stuff like that. So we're talking about like I'm thinking of games like Skyrim and those that if you're going through an area and there's literally nothing and no reason for anything to be there, it can be boring. So at some size, it doesn't matter that much, I guess, is what I would say.
Yeah,
But I think the side quests, you mentioned side quests because this brings up a good point. What I've noticed about Final Fantasy VII is the side quests don't seem like too much of padding, where Witcher and some other games, I felt like they had a lot of padding when it came to side quests. Where Horizon Zero Dawn's side quests, did they feel like padding, a lot of fetch quests, or was it still interesting enough?
there's a lot of good lore
Okay.
to do. There's a lot of good lore that you get about not necessarily about the main plot of the game. There's basically two plots going on in the game. There's the plot that like Aloy's kind of following,
Hmm.
and then there is the plot of what's going on in the world. What Aloy goes off and figures out on her own is that there's this whole subplot going on, and that becomes the main plot. So a lot of the side quests focus around what starts as the main plot. Like I don't know if you remember the beginning of the game, but like
Yeah.
there's different tribes,
Yeah.
if you will, in there, and like there's stuff going on between them. A lot of the side quests focus on that stuff, whereas as she goes down a different rabbit
Hmm.
hole of the robot stuff,
Hmm.
and that's like where the game takes you in terms of like the actual end of the game.
That's cool.
So I did like how they did that. I'll disagree about Final Fantasy VII. There's definitely some padding in there. Whenever I have to find stupid cats, like that's padding.
That was padding.
But they're fun. Like you get enough gear from them to where I don't care. That's the main reason I'm doing is that I'm a completionist when it comes to Final Fantasy, and I also just want more materia and more stuff.
Well, when I heard anytime a game has something to the effect of if you don't do this, then you miss. I don't know, straight up story, but you're missing cutscenes, you're missing moments. And as soon as I think, yeah, you mentioned that to me, where you're like, yeah, you got to do this because character thing, and I was like, okay, I have to do every side quest then. It's not even a
Yeah,
question. And if I accidentally forgot that I'm going to go load up another game and do the side, make sure I do all the side quests to not miss those moments. Um, yeah, but we could talk about Final Fantasy like the entire time, but
I'll say the only thing that I didn't necessarily like, and I'm sorry, I'm like cleaning my glasses right now. The only thing that I didn't necessarily like about what Grilla said about being in the Horizon business for a long
mhm,
time, I'm like, yes, that's obvious, but they have another great franchise that they did with Killzone,
mhm.
and I'm wondering what happens to Killzone now. Is Killzone killed? Has it been? Are we just never going to see Killzone again? Does Guerrilla have a second team that's working on it? Can they push that? Sony owns the IP. Can they say, hey, Insomniac, you want to work on Killzone? Because that would be dope.
That would be.
If they're not going to bring back Resistance, I'd rather them bring back Resistance. But if they're not, hey, Insomniac, why don't you work on the next Killzone? I would be all for that, although they're working on Spider-Man 2. So that's the only thing that kind of didn't upset me, but I'm just like, what about this other awesome IP that you literally launched the PS4? A lot of people don't remember that. Killzone
Yeah.
Shadowfall was a launch game for PS4 and pretty
Yeah, I
good.
forgot about that.
It's a good game. It's you probably own it. It was free on PS Plus
I
like
probably
a year or
do.
two
Yeah.
ago.
I probably do, but we also got some additional news when it comes to The Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima. So for those who follow us or follow gaming, The Last of Us 2 had Well, they announced that it was delayed, quote, indefinitely, and that was stupid because it wasn't going to be. So, Last of Us is going to be releasing, Last of Us 2, I should say, June 19th. And then we got a bump on Ghost of Tsushima, and that's going to be July 17th. Which I'm happy they bumped it because those would have been coming out a week apart if they hadn't bumped Ghosts. So, happy that they bumped it.
I feel bad for Ghosts.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's what we're 6 weeks apart on this. What is that? 4 weeks apart. So
yeah,
that sucks. I feel a little bit bad about it, but at least they bumped it a little bit because if it came out the same day or a week apart, that would have sucked. I'm still gonna play both of these. The Last of Us is. Yeah, it's going to be a big game, but my guess is that it's going to be something I can beat before Ghosts comes out. But I'm definitely going to play both because of the way that the storytelling out of The Last of Us works. It's not as open world. Then again, I mean, we don't know how long this is going to be, but I'm going to guess that we're looking at 20 hours or so is what I'm.
I mean, Last of Us is like what 15
something like that.
To look it up.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I think it was around like 18 or something when I beat it, but yeah, I can't remember offhand. But
how long to beat has 15 and a half.
So. 15 and a half. Okay, so
it's probably 20.
Yeah, so 20 hours. That's still and I'm not saying that to knock the game at all. It's dense. It's tight, like Owen was saying. I mean, there's a reason why there is no filler. It's just it's great. It's moment to moment. It's ups and downs of this story and of this person, of these people and their journey. And I'm crazy excited about it. I guess I do feel a little bit bad for Ghost, but I feel bad. I didn't see. I've stayed away, obviously, of all these leaks, but The Last of Us 2, like almost pretty much the entire plot, has been now leaked online.
Yep.
Which, at that point, some people were saying like, well, should I even buy it or maybe not buy it because the story is so important with these games. There were people saying like they weren't sure if they were going to buy it now or maybe they'll wait until it goes on sale. I'm not obviously in that camp, but it's got to be killing them that this released a couple months before the game came out. The entire plot released. So, have you stayed away from spoilers on that? I'm still safe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm not worried about it. I basically just don't read any comment sections of anything about anything. There was even. I'm not going to jump ahead, but the thing that I was watching yesterday with Assassin's Creed in the Twitch chat, people were spoiling it. So I'm being dead serious about if you listen to this podcast and you watch or do anything gaming related on the internet, do not look at any comment sections. Don't look at any live chats. Like, I understand that we still have a month and a half now. But if you care about this game, if you don't care about this game, fine. I've already listened to some people that were like, I liked The Last of Us. It was fun. I don't know if I was really going to play the second one, so I went ahead and looked at the story.
Yeah,
it was cool. But I wasn't going to buy the game anyway. If you're that person, go ahead and look it up.
Sure.
But apparently, this was like a disgruntled former employee. That leaked it, which I'm sure that they are going to now be NDA'd to hell and pay lots and lots. It's not like a thing where they're necessarily going to go to jail or anything, but they're definitely going to be out of a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that I mentioned feeling bad about Ghost is because Ghost has already been pushed back once because of The Last of Us. So originally, The Last of Us did a big reveal and they were like, oh, here's our launch date. And then they came out like 3 days later and was like, we're not going to hit that launch date. And they hadn't revealed Ghost of Tsushima's release date yet, but Jason Schreier reported that Ghost of Tsushima was going to be ready sooner. Like, we would have seen Ghost of Tsushima maybe even already, at this point in April if it wasn't for The Last of Us. So this game's probably like done and like ready to go. They just have to get out of the way for Naughty Dog, and that makes me feel really bad for Sucker Punch, because Sucker Punch is a dope studio. They don't get nearly as much credit as Naughty Dog, and that makes sense. But like, Infamous is a fantastic series, and this game, as I've seen more of it, looks cool. I'm ready to play it. I'm hoping that it's not too parry heavy or anything. I'm hoping that it's like dodge, because I suck at parrying. But if it's dodge combat, then I'm down. So I feel bad in that regards, but it, at least it's not, at least indefinitely didn't really like. There was a bunch of people, and me and Patrick talked about this. It was not going to be a PS5 launch game. Like, anybody who thought these are both PS4 swan song games. They were not going to let that go. There's 100 million PS4s out in the wild. They were going to say, hey, we still love you. Here's some games. Say goodbye in a proper way.
Yeah, and I know Ghost isn't going to, sell near as much as The Last of Us. When all the, the leaks and delays and COVID and everything was going on, part of me was wondering, are they going to release some games, not all, but like Ghosts or some others, like just say, hey, we're going to release early and it's only going to be digital because we can't get the physical physical discs out quick enough, but let's just go ahead and do a quick digital release as a way to get it out sooner and to get people to to still be able to play games and stay at home. Not that we're not going to do that anyways, but it does feel like they're kind of left out in the cold. But I'm still waiting. We're going to talk about it later, but actually we can lead right into this. I apologize. PS5, we actually are hearing now we're going to get some reveal of some sort. Hopefully it's definitely not going to be another one of the GDC conferences like we had last time, but June 4th, according to a well-known games journalist, we're going to get a PlayStation 5 reveal. Now the question there, I'm like, that's not quick enough. I'm waiting. At least now I know. That's like, what is that? That's 5 weeks. 5 weeks from now, we'll know a little bit more, and I'm hoping this is a full-blown, let's show some graphics. Here's some stuff. Here's a price point. Here's a release date.
A launch title.
Give me everything. Yeah, we only have one launch title right now. One. And
I'm actually, because of this, I'm gonna skip ahead in a second. But this excites me. It's soon enough for me because I'm still playing Final Fantasy VII. Like, I'm still with all the COVID stuff, like, and all of the numerous reports that we've done on this very podcast about how the manufacturing is going to be delayed and everything. I don't even know if I think both Patrick and myself are going to be extremely lucky if either one of us can get a launch PS5. Just from a production standpoint, I am not paying a scalper. You don't either. It's not going to happen. I refuse to scalp this console. I'm not going to give anybody the satisfaction there. So I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the reveal of being in June because we're not getting E3. So at least I'm getting something. And at least they're doing something. As we see, Sony blinked first on what we're assuming is a full reveal. Again, this hasn't been confirmed yet because just today, this very Thursday, April 30th, Microsoft has tweeted out, you guys want to see some games for the Series X? We want to show you games for the Xbox Series X. Xbox showing next-gen games May 7th, bright and early, 8 a.m. Pacific. So that is just 7 days from now. They have not specified whether we're seeing anything first party or second party. They've made it clear before that first party is going to be on both Series X and Xbox One. But I'm assuming that we see some Halo. I'm assuming that Assassin's Creed is going to make another appearance, which we'll get to in just a second. What else do you want to see? What other is there any first party things not named Halo? Somebody asked online, was like, what do you want to see from Xbox? And I was like, something not called Halo is what I want to see.
Yeah. I love Gears, so okay. I'd like to see some Gears. Fable Fable would be an interesting one.
on the
That's
same
a
page, boy.
dude.
Fable, give it to me.
Dude, Fable's great, and I feel like it's kind of like a joke every single time. What's his name? Is it Molyneux that does Fable? Like every single time, like if he announces stuff that's going to be that it's going to be in a game, that's actually going to be in the next game because it never gets to be what he wants it. Like everything that he announces that's going to be in the game. But I've loved the games, Fable 1 and Fable 2. I played the heck out of. Whitney played them, and I'd love to see more of that. What's that?
Fable 3, not good.
Yeah, Fable 3 not good. Yeah, exactly. But the first two I really liked, so that's what I'd like to see. Like I said, I like Gears of War. Give me some proper Gears of War. I don't need.
I do want to play Tactics, by the way. I heard it got rated well.
Yeah,
got like an 80.
Yeah,
like an 80 something on OpenCritic.
Yeah, I may have to do that. I like tactical games, so I may have to check that out. And I'm gonna laugh because like the first thing I thought was, man, that'd be kind of cool to play on the Switch.
It would be. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to it later. I don't know if you had time to go over the Microsoft earnings stuff, but there's some good juicy things in there too. But so we got that leak that PS5 in June. Then Microsoft tweeted today that we're going to see some games people are thinking now that we're going to see the console on a release date and a price. I still don't think that's the case. I think that they are waiting. I bet once PlayStation confirms that they are going to do a reveal in June, I bet then Microsoft says that they will also do a reveal in June. And the question is who does their reveal first? Who puts a price on it first? I think the release dates will be relatively close. I would bet a lot of money that both of those companies know the window that both of them want to release in and already know all right, let's say it's like October or something. I bet like one of them knows it's October 10th and one of them knows it's October 3rd or something like that. I think that they probably, because that's the business you need to be in. But as soon as we get a confirmation from Sony, I bet we get a confirmation from Xbox, or at least something next on the 7th that says like, all right, we've shown you games. Look forward to next month where we show you everything.
I will say both. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I just said I think that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I will say in either case, for PlayStation at least, I'm ready. Whenever I'm, as we're getting closer to it, especially now that we have that date, I'm gonna be ready, watching the reveal. Because if they say it's pre-ordered now, I'm gonna pre-order right then. Then I've got the money ready. I'm ready to do it. At the same time, I'm not feeling that about Xbox because like you mentioned, Xbox is not going to have exclusives. They do have Game Pass and a lot of great things, but there's nothing that's going to be exclusive for at least a year, I think they said. So
18 months, I think.
18 months, geez. See, so I could theoretically wait till the following holiday and get one. Being said,
well, with what they dropped today, I don't mean, it rolls right.
Well, we can go. No, we can definitely go to that actually.
Yeah. So with what was dropped, so Microsoft had their quarterly earnings report yesterday. Phil Spencer shared a lot of Game Pass stuff. The boring parts, maybe not boring if you're interested into the numbers like I am, but they have over 10 million Game Pass subs, which is somewhere around double PlayStation Now. The only reason that's relevant is because PlayStation Now is the only thing like it. And then more Game Pass users play more games than non-Game Pass users, which does not shock me at all. But the big one, the most awesome thing, the thing that makes me not even care about a Series X right now is that Game Pass is coming to xCloud. And xCloud is launching in 2020. So if you put xCloud on my iPhone and you give me Game Pass and you give me Series X level games that I can just stream to my phone, I no longer have to buy your potentially $500 to $600 console. But I'm absolutely going to sub to Game Pass. I'm 100%. I'll go buy a Series X controller. I'll Bluetooth it to my phone. I'll get the mount, everything, because that's good enough for me to play the Microsoft first party games and not have to like buy a whole console for it. Owen is down. 100% down.
Yeah, and they didn't say in there if that was going to be a tiered pass. Essentially, like you have Game Pass, and then you'd have like an addition, kind of
Ultimate.
like what Hulu does, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Ultimate or what have you. I could totally see them doing that, where they're like, "Hey, it's Game Pass is this much, and then for X amount more, you can tack it on, or you may be able to buy them both as individually, and maybe you can get them cheap enough where it's even cheaper than the bundle. I think bundled would be amazing. I admit I've only looked into it a little bit. Can you do XCloud on PC? So
I
they
don't
can
know
do it
why
on
you would.
mobile.
I mean, I don't know why you would need. I mean, I guess you could need to. I think they will. Yeah, I think there is a
Yeah,
thing for PC.
I think there is.
And
Just in case your PC's not that beefy is what I'm getting at. Like mine's okay, but
and then
just in case.
what they haven't mentioned yet, and now I'm almost 99% sure that this is the case. So originally, when we got the Xbox Series X announcement, there's been this rumor that Microsoft still hasn't really acknowledged with Lockhart, which is their other
Mhm.
codenamed console. 99%. I'm pretty confident that Lockhart is a dongle. I'm super confident that that Lockhart is a Google what's the streaming
Chromecast.
Chromecast. There, it's a
Chromecast.
the
Yeah.
Xbox Chromecast for
Jeez.
xCloud.
Yeah.
I'm like this close to saying like just take it to the bank, and I will absolutely buy that dongle if that's the case, because if I could
Yes.
do that dongle in 4K to my TV, again, I'm gonna have I have 400 PS4 games. I'm not getting rid of my PlayStation account. And the Series X, Microsoft's doing everything right now, and so if they give me, if it I don't even care if that dongle is like $100 for a 4K dongle, I'll still buy it,
Yeah.
because that's such a good price, and I have the bandwidth for xCloud. I have unlimited band. I'm not bragging. I have unlimited bandwidth. I don't have to worry about data caps right now.
Yeah.
That'll be absolutely the way that I go, because again, anything that's cross console, I'm going to play on PlayStation. But I want to play Gears. I want to play Halo. I want to play Fable. Hopefully, please God, I want to play Outer Worlds 2.
Mhm.
But I also, as little as I've turned on my Xbox One this generation, I really don't want to drop $600 on another. I just
Yeah.
don't. I'm feeling ever since the parenting came along, I've felt a little bit more fiscally responsible. I still splurge. Obviously, I still am a gamer.
Sure.
I'll buy games, but like I'm not feeling as ready to just be like, bam, Xbox Series X. I really need a reason to. I need there to be an exclusive game that I can't live without.
Yeah, no, I feel you, and I play PlayStation. I'm playing my Switch. I'm barely playing PC games at this point, just because I'm playing so much on those other consoles. But speaking of Switch, when the I guess we'll
Yeah,
just pivot over to
let's do it.
Nintendo on this. But did I have this queued up? I don't. Whoops. So it appears that June, the E3 Direct we're going to get from Nintendo won't likely happen because of the work from home issues. So we're now unsure if we're going to get one at all,
Yeah.
which to me, as much as I understand that, they may have looked at it and said we're not going to be able to give the quality presentation that we want. Even though they could throw some trailers out there, Nintendo had and their polish for those directs. Those directs have been so on point and polished, and I think they probably looked at it and said we're not going to be able to do that again at the way we want to, and we don't want people to look back at it and have it be a reflection of the times right now, which hopefully it'll be streaming on Hulu. You and I were talking about Parks and Rec
Yeah.
filming a episode, as it were, that was all filmed on iPhones. I don't know if they did it all themselves and then edited it together. I don't know how they did that, but I know looking back at it, it's gonna seem odd compared to the pacing of the regular show.
Sure.
It's going to be a product of COVID and what we're going through. And I'm wondering if Nintendo is like, I want this to be evergreen. I don't want you to look at this. I don't want you to look at this Nintendo Direct versus the next one and the last one, and all of them have the same level. That's how I feel about it. I would still like to see some announcements. You and I were both hoping for some more stuff on Zelda. What do you think? What do you think they would have been talking about
I
during
mean,
that?
there's a problem that they're going to run into. They need to do something. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't completely miss it. They may not be able to hit June like they were talking about, but in preparation for the podcast, I was looking at their releases. Everything that they have coming up is like a remake. Trials of Mana came out last week. It's a great looking game. It's a great port, is what it is.
Sure.
Saints Row is supposed to come out sometime. That's a port. Minecraft Dungeons port. Xenoblade Chronicles Remastered. That's a remastered. XCOM Collection port. Borderlands Collection port. BioShock port. There is nothing since Animal Crossing that has like a date on it. Like, we know
there's one.
The default 2 exit. What is there?
Deadly Premonition 2.
Okay.
I mean, that's it. It has a date. It's in July. I think July 10th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'll have to double check.
I didn't see a date for Bravely Default.
Yeah. So, Deadly Premonition 2, which I thought the first one was okay. It just looks really dated. Even when it came out, it was pretty dated in the graphics, in just, I don't know, clunkiness. July, come on. I think it's July 10th. But yeah, July 10th is what it looks like for the release date on that.
Okay.
But I only laugh because it's like, even I'm looking at that saying, I don't know if I'm going to get it. I love horror games, and I don't know if I'm going to get something to get that. And that's a Switch exclusive. So it's odd. It's odd, but other than that and some indie stuff, they're not getting on.
Axiom Verge 2 is coming, which is also, I can't wait. Axiom Verge is awesome.
Yeah.
It's one of the best Metroid games I've ever played, if not the best. Streets of Rage 4 just came out, and that looks, you were playing that video. That game looks dope. There's stuff, but like there's no Nintendo meat since Animal Crossing. I need a Breath of the Wild 2. I need that Mario 35th anniversary collection. Even though those are ports, that's a big port. Like, if we get Mario 64 on the Switch, like, hallelujah. There's problems here. We're Bayonetta 3 we haven't seen in like a year. There's things they can't drop the ball now. They're going to have enough indie support to keep on going. Like, I just don't want the Switch to become that. I'm not saying it's going to become that. It's just, it's Nintendo. They're going to be fine. It's just, I was super excited about this summer. I was super excited. Like, we were going to get Xbox reveals. We were going to get PS5 reveals. We were going to get Breath of the Wild 2. And then we heard about this Mario collection. Like, it was going to be awesome. And then now Sony's about to start the cylinders. Microsoft's had the cylinders going, and then there's Nintendo, where it's like Animal Crossing was a huge success, and now what?
Well, I mean, up until I mean, it's changing week to week and day to day when it comes to coronavirus. Apparently, your state's reopening, quasi reopening tomorrow, but this has staggered us to the point where, and as lame as it sounds, the fact that. Yeah, well, exactly. I didn't mean for that, but yeah. To me, it's thrown me off so much though because E3, and I know that sounds really weird to non-gamers, but if you're listening this long into a podcast and YouTube show, first of all, thank you. We love you. Subscribe, follow us. We do. But E3, for it to just not be in existence, and for them to say we're not going to do anything digitally, or they, basically they're not going to do what they normally do E3 wise. It's not going to be as structured, right? That puts everything else not just out of the window. It's just nebulous. And in a year of console launches, that's insane, because previously in this dance of who's going to act first and what's going to happen, we knew we're going to see something. We're going to see something at E3. And the question is someone going to pull the trigger quick? Is someone going to leak stuff? What's going to happen? Now it's just this weird dance of like you said, I think both of them know, but it's this weird dance of like who's going to say what first and who's going to play, reveal their hand, and then are we going to have another meme-worthy moment like we did during the Xbox One launch, where PlayStation, or it could be the either one, PlayStation says something stupid and Xbox immediately is like, oh, really? And then they can immediately put a video package together and slam them like the next day. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, and now they don't know what's going to happen. So if you didn't have anxiety already in your gamer, I mean, seriously, this is. I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. I got the money ready. I'm going to pre-order as soon as I can. But yeah, you're right. We may not be able to. It may crash. Whoever. Where are you going to go with for a pre-order? Are you going to go GameStop? Give me some money. You're going to go Target?
Tabs open, baby. I don't care. I'm gonna be refreshing tat. Like I've done this before. Like it's been a long time, but like I'm gonna have an Amazon tab open. GameStop, God help me. I don't know if you're gonna fold, but I'll have your stupid website open, ready to go. I'll have Target open. I'll have Walmart open. I will have every storefront that could possibly carry that console open and doing. I was about to say Command R because I'm on a Mac, but Control R. You know, I'm gonna be hitting that refresh. What? Let's add the card.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. This is my first at launch. Switch is my first at launch. I apologize.
Yeah.
This is my first home console, as it were, because Switch is the hybrid. Either way, I'm excited about it, and I'm probably going to be doing the same thing. I didn't think about. I guess not being one that did it before, I didn't think about having multiple tabs open and ready to go. I was just going to go, I'll probably go to Target or what have you. Either one of them, no matter where you go, they're going to be, I think everybody now can ship it to your house or get it to the store. I will say one of my friends and coworkers, Jason from over at SCNS Live, he pre-ordered the Final Fantasy VII First Class Edition, and it's gone. I didn't tell you about this because I just found out about it today. It got to the post office, his local post office, got out on a truck somewhere, came back to the post office, even though it didn't get to his house, left the second time, and then just disappeared. Someone had to have realized what it was.
Your stuff, dude.
That's right. So he's getting a refund, but as you and I know, he's not as mad about the refund as he's mad he can't get this.
Yeah.
Unless he wants to go to a scalper. These are selling for like $500 just for the figure. And by the way, I got to put him like over here or something, like so we can see him better. But yeah, he was like, that's what I wanted. He's a huge action figure collector anyway, so he's really irritated.
Yeah, it's not about the money. Obviously, I'm gonna get my money back. Whatever, like you're gonna get me like my money. The Square insures that stuff through their posts. Like there's no skin off Square's back or anything. No, I want the thing. I always want the thing. Like that's way more important. Is get me.
I got emotional. I got emotional because he told me about it a while back, and I hadn't checked in with him because he told me, he was like, I'm waiting, and that thing was like the next week, and he's like, I still haven't gotten mine. I'm like, Jesus, what's going on? And he told me today, and like I got a little emotional thinking like oh, that, like I almost felt like when you hear about someone getting a car wreck and you're like, oh man, that could have been me. It's heartbreaking, like especially as an action figure collector as he is. I mean, I'm not an action figure collector. I like some of the action figures that I have and everything, but his whole, like, he's got a whole room full of this stuff. So not to bring anybody down, but Jason, we feel for you. Sorry that that's going on. Sorry for your loss, and hope you can find a way to get it eventually and snag that copy. But let's pivot to the one thing we were dancing around this like the whole day, but we got a trailer for the new Assassin's Creed, and it's what we knew it was going to be. Valhalla. I knew it was going to be some Vikings, and they did a really interesting way of kind of leading into this trailer, because you and I were talking about this or messaging each other. They had some art being done on Twitter. Was it yesterday?
Twitch. Yeah,
Twitch. Oh, that was okay. I knew they tweeted about it. Yeah,
he was doing it live, so he did this whole piece like live, like drew like the whole thing from like start to finish. It was a several hours long stream. He wasn't talking or anything. There was just music going on. There was like drops from Ubisoft, where if you did these trivia questions, you could get like some little small DLC items for the game. It was really cool, and it was awesome to see the art done live. I'm not an artist, so obviously no matter what, I was like, oh man, this guy's got skills. Apparently he's a famous online artist. I can't even remember his screen name right now. but that's the coolest like way to do a tease that I've seen in some time. It was different. It wasn't just like,
Yeah.
here's a screenshot. It wasn't art that was already done. It was this cool thing of like, hey, why don't we show you the person like really taking the time to do this piece for us? And
Yeah.
then today they dropped a dope cinematic trailer.
Mhm. Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, the trailer looked amazing. As Assassin's Creed games, like them or like them, love them, or feel indifferent, whatever it is. Even me, who I liked the first ones, and I feel like they've lost their way. But I'm crazy excited about this. The battle looked great. The graphics looked great. Obviously, this is cinematic. Whitney was watching it with me, and she's like, "Will you show me some gameplay, please?"
No.
I mean, but no, they're not going to show gameplay. It's a reveal. They want to get you excited about the setting, about the change in playing Viking as opposed to most recently we've been to Egypt, we've been to Greece, so we haven't been this far north in a while. We haven't been in any of this lore at all. So I think that's going to be really interesting because none of the Scandinavian or a lot of even Germanic stuff hasn't been touched. The only thing that I don't like out of this entire trailer, I'm going to nitpick it right here, is she's got horns on a helmet. And Vikings didn't have horns on helmets. Maybe it was a ceremonial thing that I don't know about, but the whole Vikings wearing helmets thing is not accurate historically. But if you do notice over here, they're not wearing helmets. So I'm like, okay, maybe they put that in there as a nod. Because as soon as it's a helmet, I was like,
I imagine given their general attention to detail, I mean, the Origins had a freaking educational mode to it. So sure. I imagine that they know what they're doing. I don't even if you want to nitpick, I bet there's a thing to that horn. Yeah. She wasn't in battle or anything, so there was something going on. I obviously don't know what I'm not a historian. I also didn't know this. I don't care. It was a thing. I know
that was a little thing
because the thing that I did care about that I'll nitpick in a good way is during this fight with that big dude. You saw armor doing what it was supposed to do for a second. His weapon bounced off the mail, and you don't see that very often. Half the time in video games you stab straight through, and that's not what would happen. So there's a point right here where he just bounces off this dude's armor, and that was legit. He had to actually find the weak point on this big guy, and bust out the right there where the thing just bounces off like that. That was dope. So that was a positive nod that I saw.
And I think you're right, and I nitpicked that in the trailer for the horns only because it bugged me a little bit. But then the rest of it not having horns is why I think you're right. They know so much. They appreciate the real parts of history, which I've explained Assassin's Creed to some non-gamers. I've explained it to some, and I don't mean this as a slight, I've explained it to some boomers who are not gamers, and I've explained to them what it is, because they're like, well, I don't really they were just asking about the game, and the care that they've taken in history, even though we're talking about things were a slightly different timeline or whatever you want to call it, a secret history, as it were. The care that they've taken to the cultures and the history in the games has been so good and so intense that people who don't like a lot of other games will play Assassin's Creed, or maybe they don't like that gameplay style, but to adventure, to jump into to Italy during the Renaissance, or to go into ancient Greece has been amazing. Didn't Cass play Odyssey, or which one did she play one recently?
She started Odyssey when it first came out and didn't get particularly far.
Okay.
Things happened in life, and she just kind of wasn't interested at the time. So we still have it. I should actually. It's on Xbox. I've talked about buying it several times recently, and I'm like, I do own it, but I want my trophies. I've thought about buying it, but now based on what this game's going to be, I'm way more interested in this one because they've talked about like the problem with like Odyssey and Origins is like the density of the map and the fact that it takes you everywhere. Whereas this one,
Mhm.
you have a hub, which is your little
Yes.
your settlement that probably gets bigger as time goes on, and you have paths that you can take. So like I'm not saying it's not going to be linear, but I feel like there's more linearity to it, a little bit more focus of going different ways on the map, and that excites me because I get why people like open world games, but that often puts me off on them just because I get overwhelmed. Like I almost stopped playing Horizon again because I was just
Yeah.
like, so many freaking exclamation points. I want to do it all, but I also just don't want to do it all. I want it to feel like I'm going somewhere. I want the quest to make sense. I want
Yeah.
I want it to be lined up. I want the
Mhm.
quest to I want the story quest and like side quest to be like in the same area so that I'm
Mhm.
not like going. That was why I stopped playing Witcher. Like there was a main quest that was like, oh, go this way, and then there's all these side quest things that are popping up on the map over here, and I'm like, why are they not married together? Why are you doing this to me? And that
Yeah.
bugs me. So this excites me a lot more because there's a hub to come back to. That so that tells me
Mhm.
there has to be some kind of you know sin. I don't even know the right word.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think the
Synergy.
it's not linear. Yeah, I mean it's not that it's linear, but just the layout will be more appealing, and I think psychologically it also when you have a game that's open world, but you know a definitive path forward where you can play around, but you know the path forward, and they if the side quests are within the area that you're in, it doesn't feel like you're having to backtrack over and over and over again. Which some games, I mean, people love Fallout and Witcher for being able to do that, for going out and being able to do whatever you want. But when you're giving me side quests that are in the opposite direction, and
Hate it.
I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to go back that way if I
Nope,
continue the mission this way.
I will
So
not.
I'm yeah, I did like that in this you are going to get a female character, and if you play that female character, or if you choose to play the female character, it is the same character, unlike Odyssey, where you played a different
Yeah.
character, which I appreciate because the Vikings did respect women warriors. So yeah, and again, I'm not an expert
It
on
made me
that, but
think
I
of like
like that.
femshep versus male shep
Yeah,
with Mass Effect. It made me think of that kind of thing where you are like the same character, so the name is even the same. I forgot to write down the name. Sorry.
yeah,
Name is even the same, but they did confirm that there's a fem version that you have the option of playing, which is good because that's how I play. So I will 100% be doing the fem voice. Um, I don't really like Assassin's Creed that much. I respect it as a franchise, but this game got me excited. A lot of people were like, "Oh, you're just gonna rip off God of War, right?" But watching this game, like, this isn't God of War. This is legit.
no,
Like, I'm not saying God of War is not legit, but I'm talking about in terms of like God of War was the fantasy like Vikings, the
yes,
mythological Vikings. This is way more like realistic looking Vikings, and
yeah.
that's not a story that we see very often. So that it's cool. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
It's next gen. We got a next gen game today, baby. We got to see some next gen game. That it is going to be on PS4 and Xbox One, but it is also confirmed Xbox Series X and PS5.
yeah.
So
So I'm gonna have to
next
get a
gen is
PS5.
coming, man. It's
And
coming.
that excites me. It may not be exclusive on PS5, but I'm gonna have to get it for PS5. Um, I'm I'm very excited about this. Whitney's excited about it. I think this is going to be one of the first games that I play on PlayStation 5, other than because this is just me, other than testing out the PlayStation 4 backwards compatibility
Oh
and being
yeah,
like,
whatever
what
they
can this
launch
thing
too.
do? Yeah, what can it
I'll
do?
probably like normally a console launches with like I don't know 8 games. I'll probably buy
Yeah.
most of them.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too. I'm already got the money saved up for the PlayStation 5. So when the PlayStation 5 launches, I'll have money at the ready for that as well. So finally got something exciting on that, and very 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 happy. But I would say um, you're right, because Valhalla isn't ripping off God of War. Similarly, some people were saying when they saw Ghost of Tsushima was coming out, and they were saying, "Yeah, but Neo 2 is really cool." I'm like,
Sekiro, yeah.
Yeah, Sekiro, I'm like, that's completely different. Like those are so different. Just because they happen to be in Japan does not mean it's the same game. So in this, just because they happen to be Vikings, it's not gonna be the same game. It's not gonna be the same story. They're not gonna tread on each other. It's gonna be fantastic. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Closing words. What do you think?
Next gen, baby. It's coming.
That's right.
We
Next gen.
are now in April. May's about to happen. Next gen is coming by the end
Yeah,
of the year.
that's right. It's
Let's
like
go.
it's like
Let's
this
go.
close. It's like this close. Anyways, we'll see you guys later. Have fun.
Okay, bye.